Yo, what's good, my people? Welcome back to the SillyMMA channel. And Dana White has cooked. May not be all the announcement he wants, but he has announced some big fights. And not only the main ones that you've seen everywhere, but there's some fights that have been announced that's going under the radar. So we're going to be going through every fight that's been announced recently and having a little look at it. And the first thing, of course, the main one, Topuria versus Charles Olivera. I mean, it's not the Islam versus Makhachev, but it's confirmed it's going to be for the official belt, which means Islam has been forced to vacate. And I'm going to talk about this for a bit because Islam is the number one pound for pound active champion. Fighting once, twice a year, you know, not too active, but he's active. Meanwhile, Mr. Johnny Burns Jones, how does he still have his belt? He's out here driving motorbikes in fucking Russia, chatting shit, arguing with little kids online. And he still has a belt. Islam Makhachev going up, trying to become double champ. He can't have his belt. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. The UFC can, with double standards, one rule for one champ, which is actually doing something, and one rule for the other, just because he has a legacy of taking PEDs and being gay. Anyway, that's not the only fight that got announced for 317. Pantoja versus Kai Kara France got announced. We've been hearing about this for a long time. We heard it was going to be on 314 a while back. It's been confirmed. UFC 317, Kai Kara France gets a rematch after their long battle all that time ago on the Ultimate Fighter. So decent, decent little two headline fights there. And we also have the rest of the main card. Before I get into that, I want to speak about these two fights a bit more. Topuria versus Olivera, man. This is a good fight. But to be honest, I think Topuria just knocks him out. Because Olivera, he always gets hurt. And he couldn't get Chandler out of there. He was hurt against Chandler, beat him to the back of the head. But I think Topuria gets it done. I think it's going to be a gritty one. It's going to be a good one. But I think you know how usually in Topuria fights, how he's losing and then he wins. I think this one he's going to be winning and then he wins. And he's going to win. He's going to put him out cold. For Pantoja Kara France, I just see Pantoja winning, man. Unless Kara France can initiate like a Steve Ercek type game plan. Stay out with the striking, getting the good shots in. But Pantoja looks immortal at 125 recently. Anyway, let's get into the rest of the card that's been announced for UFC 317. The featured fight is Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. And to be honest, looking through this card for an international fight week, it's not that good. I mean, but the featured fight, Costa, Kopylov, it's going to be a good fight. Paulo Costa, I mean, he's not been able to get back, but he's been facing the top guys in the division, Whittaker and Strickland. And can Kopylov prove that he's ready to start approaching the top 10? He lost to Anthony Hernandez, he's been looking up since then. Could be an interesting one there. I'll probably lean towards Kopylov unless Costa can show us some of that vintage game lightweight. We know Dariush and Moicano is rebooked after Moicano gets back in there after losing to Islam Makhachev. This one was booked 311, of course, fell off after Armin pulled out and Moicano got slaughtered by Islam. And heavyweight bout, Denise versus Taffer. UFC, listen here. I don't care about the two title fights. I don't care about, oh my god, international fight week, guys. UFC X. If Justin Taffer is on the main card against fucking Janota Denise on the international fight week in 2025, might have to boycott the whole fucking event. If I see Justin Taffer, put him on the early prelims, bro. Or put him on the fucking Perth card. Yeah. This is taking the piss. Anyway, fuck that. Denise bangs him out. Anyway, Brandon Royval versus the Taffer brothers are beaches. Anyway, Brandon Royval versus Manel Cap. I see Cap winning this one. I don't know. I think Cap will make it to the top of the division. I don't know if this is the fight to get him there. I think he might lose this one. But I don't know. It's a close fight. Anyway, middleweight bout, Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets back in there. Manson's not fought since that win against Joe Pyfer. Which hasn't aged too badly. Pyfer's a motherfucker, man. But yeah, I just said it hasn't aged. Well, I guess it hasn't. He's beat no one. He's beat Mark Andre Barry. I don't even know what I'm saying. He's fighting Gaston, so it might be a good win by the time this card comes around. That's a fun fight, middleweight and flyweight. Vivian Araujo versus Tracy Cortez, which I'll definitely be watching, and it's definitely for the MMA skill case on display. Anyway, on to UFC 319. One fight's been announced. It's the title fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. I'm gassed for this one, man. It's going to be a banger. I don't know who I'm going to pick, but I think whoever wins will reign the division for ages, as I mentioned in my predicting the top 5 video. You should go watch, one of my best videos. I think Chimaev wins, but it's going to be a good fight, man. This is a proper banger. I'm happy du Plessis staying active, getting back in there. And then on to the rest of the slides. We have news about UFC 316. So Marlon Vera is out of his fight against Mario Bautista, which is unfortunate. I thought he was gonna I thought Bautista was going to win, but I wanted Vera to sleep him. But timing has come around. Patchy Mix, one of the probably the best bantamweight ever out of Bellator of all time. He's a free agent and he's expected to make his debut at UFC 316. By the way, shout out Crazy Kevin, RealKevinK for all these tweets here that we are seeing in this video. They're all brought us by him. He's expected to make his debut at 316. And Vera has just fallen out of the fight, so we might be seeing Patchy Mix versus Mario Bautista at UFC 316. To be honest, I don't know if Mix can deliver the beating that he deserves, Bautista, but you know, that's a perfect. I don't know if it can be a coincidence, man. And also 316, we have Kulan Salkid versus Yano Ashmuse. Because Kulan Salkid knocked out Jubilee in like 90 seconds. He's one and only UFC. I'm sorry, you Indians, you cannot fight, man. And then we have the Yanala Ashmuse. He is 2-1 in the UFC, coming off a decision win over the man, the myth, the legend, Trevor Peets. That's a nice little lightweight fight at UFC 316. And then also we have some news for UFC Baku. Mohamed Naimov versus Bodkangrad, a featherweight bout. Naimov is 4-1 in the UFC, but one of them wins is a robbery against Mr. Nathaniel Wood. Just remember that. And then Bodkangrad won in the UFC after beating Lucas Alexander with a second round KO. And this man did actually lose to Tom Nolan all the way back in 2023 on the Contender Series on his first chance. But he's in the UFC now. Second chance on the Contender Series, took it, and now he's facing Mohamed Naimov, who's an established name in the second top 15 of the featherweight division. And then what do we have for UFC 318? We have a banger. I'll tell you that. Bruno Ferreira versus Ikram Aliskerov. I mean, I am gassed for this one. This is a banger, man. Ikram Aliskerov is 3-1 in the UFC. 2 losses in his professional career. They come to Robert Whittaker and Hamzat Chimaev, man. Can you blame him? And all his wins in the UFC have been by finish. And Muniz, he knocked down Muniz at Kansas City last time out, you know, perfect performance. And then Bruno Ferreira, I mean, this man, if you don't know Bruno Ferreira, get to know, bro. This guy's never ever had a fight go to a decision. He's 4-2 in the UFC. He loses to the best guys. I mean, I say that, but yeah, he loses to at least borderline ranked guys. But this is just a pango. It's going to be a knockout. It's going to be early. They're both just MMA styles, elite everywhere the fight goes, but like to keep it on the feet. Ferreira got the submission last time out though. Could mix it up, but you know, this is a banger, man. And then UFC Abu Dhabi, of course. It's been a while now since we knew that Robert Whittaker versus Reina Dorado will be headlining this card, and what a fun fight. I mean, I think Dorado beats him. We saw Whittaker struggle against the plot armor. I don't know if Whittaker still got it, man. We'll have to see, but Reina Dorado, I think, could be in the top 5 after this one. And then also we have Sharabullet Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault, and this is a quick return for Marc-Andre Barriault. I know he just got an easy win, but this man's chin is fucked. And Magomedov, it just seems like an easy win. Magomedov went from fighting Michael Venom Page to this guy. I mean, that's a big step down. It's just a nice tune-up. Sharabullet Magomedov, in my opinion, pieces up and finishes Marc-Andre Barriault, who before that recent fight at UFC 315 against Bruno Silva, he got knocked out twice in the first round. I mean, Shar is 4-1 in the UFC. Barriault, a veteran, 6-8. Got the win last time out. I don't know if we'll be able to repeat that procedure here. Also for that card, we got Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov, and after a long wait out for Krylov, he makes 2 quick returns. He got knocked out cold by my boy Dominic Reyes at UFC 311. He's 11-8 in the UFC, a proper vet. And we have Bogdan Guskov. I mean, I say Krylov's a vet. He's not really a vet. He's still young, but the amount of fights, fair enough. Bogdan Guskov is 3-1 in the UFC. Only lost to Uzdemir. To be honest, he's looked mid. He got the win last time out against Billy Adekena. We have some news for soon. He's on a 3-fight finish streak though. Got the guillotine last time out for matchup. And then the last fight announcement here, we have Ibo Aslan versus Billy Adekena, also for this UFC Abu Dhabi card. I mean, Ibo Aslan, he's like what they call him, the Turkish power man. I mean, he lost to Ian Gutelaba at UFC Seattle, but he was 2-0 before that in the UFC, steamrolling guys. And Billy Adekena, 0-1 in the UFC, lost to Guskov, but looked this decent and took the first round. We haven't seen enough of him in the UFC, so I'm saying that Aslan probably sleeps him. That's the easy choice, but yeah, and that's the last fight announcement. And in other news, Yuri Prochazka was offered to fight at UFC UFC 317, but turned it down because he wanted to finish earning his master's degree. And we could only assume that fight was going to be against Carlos Ulberg, which would have done great on that card, but he's turned it down. A chance to fight on International Fight Week because he's earning his master's degree. Can someone please tell me what year he perhaps is earning a bloody master's degrees on? I mean, fair enough. And also Joe Alvarez. I mean, this is an interesting one. He wants to move up to 170, as I've been mentioning in some of my recent videos. But the UFC want him to stay at 155. And in order for him to stay there, the UFC is willing to give him a so-called big fight, a top 10 fight, to avoid the welterweight change. In other easy words, they're bribing him to stay at lightweight. Why? I don't know. Maybe they want to keep the fresh blood of lightweight open. Or anyway, I don't know, man. But anyway, that is everything that's been popping around in the fight announcements, fighter news. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just a quick recap. See you tomorrow. Shout out SillyMMA. Please leave a like and subscribe.